Well Rooted is brought to you by Gerard and Associates CPAs. With locations throughout Los Angeles, Gerard and Associates has been guiding entrepreneurs and creatives towards realizing their dreams for over 20 years. Discover how they can support your vision at gerardcpa.com. Hey, it's Haneen. Welcome to another episode of Well Rooted. Today I am joined by Yasmeen Abu Ramallah. She is the founder of Ya Albi. I'm sure that you have seen those eye-catching pink tins and bottles of pure Palestinian olive oil all over your feed. And I am sure you might have seen them at the In Between East event last year, and you've probably even seen her collaboration with Huda Beauty. This is one of the coolest brands I have ever seen, and to get to talk to Yasmeen, learn all about Ya Albi and what's to come for the brand has been so heartwarming. I can't wait for you guys to listen to the episode. So without further ado, here is Well Rooted featuring Yasmeen Abu Ramallah. Where in the Bay do you guys live, or does your family live?
So they live in Castro Valley. It's East Bay.
Okay.
And then they have a ranch, like a 100-acre land situation, and yeah,
That's a dream.
it's huge. Um, my dad's dream. I think he's like reclaiming land at this point. But he has like a bunch of land, and so I store a lot of my like olive oil there, and we have like a filling machine, so we like fill the oil there like twice a year.
Wow, that's like you guys have like this full operation.
Yeah, and so like even it's kind of annoying though, like even yesterday my mom like drove down
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of like oil, so we're always having to like, okay, like can you drive it down tomorrow? Like I ran
Wait,
out.
how that's like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's a
Yeah.
commitment.
Yeah.
I love this. So it's a family project.
It's a family project.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What, how did that start? Because I'm just really curious. We were just talking about like, before we started Well Rooted and kind of my husband and I's mindset, like going into this and how we're pivoting with the firm as well and
Mm-hmm.
like the businesses we want to work with. My nose just got really runny. But I'm like, what was going on in your head and outside of your head at the time when you were like, I want to focus on this and starting Ya Albi?
I mean, like it was just like a really sad time, and like I had a lot of grief. But I wanted to do something where I could help and where other people could feel like they're also helping, and they could also have a piece of like Palestine like in their home. And like naturally just like olive oil was like the obvious place to start. It is
Hmm.
like olive oil is Palestine is olive oil.
Yeah.
And so my mom had the idea. She's like, "Why don't we do olive oil?" And I was like, "Why not?" And at that time like I had stopped working in fashion, and I was looking to start something of my own, like
Hmm.
something that mattered, like something important.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take over like what it looks like I'll do it, like let me make it cute, and like that's kind of just like how it started. And I needed like something to like I needed to start this as much as like I don't know how to say it, like I needed it for myself. Like it was a way for me to like get through grief by like making something like real
Yeah.
and like tangible, like something that would help others and also help myself.
Yeah. No, I absolutely. And first of all, two things you said. So first of all, olive oil is Palestine, 110%. And a lot of that you've attributed to even your grandmother and how she uses it almost as a medicinal
Mhm.
thing. And as someone whose teta has also, treated olive oil as a cure for all ailments, I want you to
Mhm.
elaborate on that because olive oil really is life for Palestinians.
Mhm. It really is. Like when I was younger, um, I mean, even as a baby, my mom would tell me like she'd be like, "You be crying," and your grandma would like put it on your stomach because she thought you might have like a stomach ache, and um, like if you had like an ear infection, like they'd rub like olive oil in your
Yeah.
ears. Like it was literally just like the cure to everything.
Hmm.
So,
It's a household staple.
yeah.
Besides just an ingredient, it's a staple in all of our homes.
Yeah, and I think it's different for like Arab households. I think like when I think about other people or like people in like the US, they see it as like an ingredient
Hmm.
almost. Like, oh, like we're gonna use olive oil to make salad dressing. But like for us, it's like it's not only just like an ingredient, it's like a condiment. It's like we use it to like flavor things. We like we use it for everything.
Literally for everything. I remember one time someone in our family like hurting their ankle and my grandmother heating olive oil and then like massaging the ankle with it and then wrapping it. And she's like, it's good.
You're good
And
now.
you're good. And they were walking the next day. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
So it might have worked.
it's crazy. Dry
And
skin,
dry
stomach
skin,
aches,
hair.
hair, everything.
I have like the frizziest hair naturally, and then it drives my grandmother crazy, and she's like in Arabic, she's just like if you just take a little bit, on each finger and just
Yeah.
just like, flatten that out. I'm like, that's not how it works, but
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. I think my grandma there, she would take like a shot of it every morning.
And
Every
that's like
morning.
trending on TikTok
Yeah.
now,
It's a
which is
trend now.
yeah,
So people are catching up.
catching up finally. So you're ahead of the game. You're ahead of everybody with Ya Albi. Another point I want to touch on is you co-founded this along with your mom.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like, first of all, to found a brand with your mom? And also, I know you guys grew up like going to protests,
Mm-hmm.
together, and I want to know how that also impacts the mission behind Ya Albi as well.
Yeah. Well, working with my mom is nice. I mean, like it's someone that I can trust, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like no matter what, like she's there for me and like I'm right here too. Like it's and we know each other so well, obviously.
Yeah.
And growing up, both of my parents were really into like activism for Palestine mostly. Growing up, we went to a lot of protests. Like I remember being in San Francisco, and this is like before most people knew what Palestine
Mm-hmm.
was. So it was like sometimes it would be like 20 people, or I don't know, just like in Union Square in San Francisco, and just like protesting whenever there would be some sort of like flare up in the
Yeah.
in the region. Um, so it was always just kind of a part of my life. It was always protests or um, Palestine was like a part of everything, food, protests, conversation, like the news was always on. Um, so I had a very like it's very integrated into my life,
Yeah.
I guess I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
what it
like
sounds like.
it was never like separate. It
Mm-hmm.
was never like a separate life for me. And I grew up going to Palestine a lot as a kid. Um, I'd go for like a month or two at a time. My mom would like even take me out of school sometimes, and she'd kind of have to like fight with the schools and be like, "Look, she's gonna learn way more like over there than she's going to in school. Like, give her some assignments. Like, she's coming. I don't care." Like,
Hell yeah.
so.
And that really like builds your identity over time. I
Mhm.
mean, getting to do that. I don't remember, I didn't have family in Palestine to go visit, but we would go visit Kuwait because that's where our family
Okay.
was. But I remember that being something that I truly looked forward to because it reminded me really of who I was.
Yeah.
And you can get really lost here as a kid
Mhm.
growing up where it's like, where do I fit in? I'm
Yeah.
not quite like you. I don't quite fit into everything
Yeah.
that you do. So it was like this nice reminder of this is who you are, these are your
Mhm.
people, and you always have a home here in
Yeah.
some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like I think I'm just like really grateful I got to go a lot as a kid. I think when you're so young, you're super impressionable and you take everything in. And so I really I don't know, you're forming your identity. So I remember how everything felt like so clearly. Um I even remember feeling like the tension of like being there or like, just like the way it was that people live. And instead of like versus like going as an adult and then seeing like that version of it, like when you're young, you're like you're growing your identity, and it becomes like a part of you. It's
Yeah.
like it's kind of like embedded almost.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm grateful for that for sure.
Yeah. And to your point, as you said, it's embedded in you. And all the realities of Palestine, when you get to grow up seeing that, it's like a given to you. Like everything that people are just now, coming to terms with and learning about, you've
Mhm.
known this all along. Like you've grown up
Yeah.
witnessing this,
Mhm.
protesting against this.
Mhm.
What does that feel like now? Like to kind of see the world, because you mentioned at at some protests, it was just 20 people.
Yeah.
And I'm going to assume that a lot of those people were Arab or Middle
Mhm.
Eastern that were protesting.
Mhm.
What does it feel like for you now to, as an adult, to get to watch people from all walks of life protest for Palestine?
It's honestly crazy. Like, as sad as it is that this is the reason why people are protesting now because of like the horrible things that have like happened, a literal genocide. Um, I I remember like being a kid in school and people were like, what is Palestine? Like Pakistan? Like what are you saying? And
Yeah.
like I even remember a teacher one time telling me like Palestine is not a place. Like when we would go around saying like where our families are from, like a teacher told me like that's not a country. Like and I don't know. I I'm kind of grateful. Like it feels weird to say, but
Mhm.
I never thought a day would come where like everyone knows what Palestine is
Yeah.
and people are finally like understanding what Palestinians have been going through for so long. Um, so as weird as it is to say it, like I'm kind of like grateful.
No,
It feels weird to
yeah,
say, but
I
like,
totally get what you're
you know,
saying. You know what it is? From I think 2022 was like the Sheikh Jarrah thing, right? That
mm-hmm,
really, I think, alerted a lot of people who had no idea of what was happening, of what was really going on. And I just remember from like that 2022 leading up to October 7th, I always felt like in the back of my mind, there was like a pressure cooker on the stove.
mm-hmm,
And I always thought of it as a pressure cooker. And I'm like, this pressure cooker is about to give out. And none of the rest of the world seems to either be aware or to care of this.
yeah,
But I feel like for a lot of us, we're going about our daily lives here, especially Palestinians in the diaspora, knowing that there's a pressure cooker about to be set off in some way because it's just the human condition.
mm-hmm,
It's just there's only so much a human being could withstand.
yeah,
So, and then it's like you're kind of fighting these battles growing up, just trying to
yeah,
remind people of your identity, which
mm-hmm,
is crazy too.
yeah,
Several battles had to be fought to get you
yeah,
here today.
yeah. It's insane, honestly. And like going back to like my parents, like my father would never let me forget that I'm Palestinian. Like I am Palestinian before I'm American. And like so whenever I would whenever I'd meet anyone, like I could talk to you for like 10 minutes, but you'll probably know that I'm Palestinian. And like I think that's like a part of me that like doesn't want being Palestinian to be erased. Like
Hmm.
I'm gonna make sure you know. Um, and like going back to today, like all of this, like everything that's like happened, like it's like almost like I don't want to say had to happen, but like
Hmm. But
it's
it did kind of have to happen to get us to where we all are today.
yeah, because I feel like maybe this is like a point where things start to finally change. Like it's so out in the open that things have to change. Like this can't like continue. Like everyone sees how horrendous this situation is, and I think a lot of people didn't realize like something like this was actually happening in the world because
Yeah.
a lot of people just like live in their own bubble, of course, and like
Hmm.
just for something so horrible to be like live streamed and so in our faces, like okay, can something please change now? Like
Yeah.
this can't like go on forever, and it's
Yeah.
not going to.
And it's not going to.
Yeah,
Something has to give.
yeah,
It's not sustainable.
yeah.
Nothing built on like hate and racism is sustainable.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, I
Yeah.
think. So,
No, absolutely. And so, I mean, we have all this going on and it's come to the surface and your idea is olive oil. And but I want you to explain because it is more than olive oil. And I want you to explain kind of like what the process of getting this olive oil, from Palestine to everyone's kitchen,
hmm
what that looks like.
well, it's not easy. Um, the farmers have had like a really difficult time. It's definitely been in the news quite a bit, and um, there's a lot of violence, um, a lot of restrictions when it comes to the farmers like picking their own olives, and a lot of like threats and um, the theft of land and just like horrible things that are happening that has made this harvest especially really hard. Um, and then not only that, but it's just the exporting of the olive oil. For example, like once the olive oil is pressed and ready to get taken to the port, Israelis have a lot of restrictions on it to even get there. And as you know, like there are many checkpoints. And so they'll do things like, okay, so one truck driver will drive to the checkpoint, but they won't let that truck go through. So someone has to come to the other side of the checkpoint to unload the oil onto the other truck and then to keep it going. And like that's if that checkpoint is even open that day. That's if they even feel like letting that happen.
Hmm.
Um, and so just to the get to the port is a whole other thing. And then once it gets to the port, um, Israelis can kind of determine how long it has to sit there for until they feel like letting it leave. And mind you, like um, Palestinians have to pay the rent while that olive oil waits, and then to leave. And then as time goes by, like they're putting more restrictions on like packaging, for example, and they no longer want the olive oil to say "Made in Palestine." Like they want that they'd rather it say like West Bank, and like
Hmm.
they don't want watermelons, for example, on the packaging. So like they keep doing things like this to essentially try and erase like Palestinian identity or
Yeah.
anything. So obviously like we don't package there.
Hmm.
It's just like they probably wouldn't let it out.
Right.
So we ship the raw goods and then we package it in the US.
Yeah. So basically, if you're purchasing Ya Albi, like you're basically purchasing a Palestinian resistance because
Mhm.
the journey that this oil had to go through just to get to you
Mhm.
is almost unexplainable.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. A lot of people don't see it. They just like see olive oil, but just to get the olive oil here is like beyond what a lot of people go through in their lifetime of like difficulty and hardship. Like it's
Literally,
crazy.
literally, no, 100%. And it brings up so many other topics that people have no idea even exist because even when you mentioned like the driver having to stop at the checkpoint and then
Mhm.
having to unload, reload another truck, that
Mhm.
just it's probably due to the license plate issue, right? Like
Yeah, I think
there's no
so.
freedom of movement in
Mhm.
Palestine. Only certain license plates are allowed to drive in certain areas.
Mhm.
It's absurd. Like the
Yeah.
level
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
racism and separation that happens is
Mhm.
absurd.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like this is unrelated to olive oil, but I always think about like how like some people in my family for I have family in like East Jerusalem in the West
Hmm.
Bank, and I think it's like the craziest thing, but like say you want to like marry someone that lives in the West Bank and you live in East Jerusalem,
Yeah.
like you have to move to the West Bank, like the person that lives in East Jerusalem. Like it's just
Oh
you're
yeah.
yeah. So like
Yeah.
if you live in the West Bank, you can't move to East Jerusalem or like Jerusalem. You have to move to the like you're it's like you're just trying to be like they're just trying to like push
And they're
Palestinians
just
out.
like two different cities.
They're right next to each
Yeah.
other. There is a wall in between them. They're right next. It's just
It's insane. It's like we're in Culver. Like if we were just to drive to like Marina Del Rey right now, it's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But Palestinians are not privy to a normal, life of like peace and justice and equality.
No,
And
not
that's
at
really
all.
what it comes down to. Like you're not even freedom of movement. And to your point, when I was in Palestine in 2017, we were staying in Hebron with my husband's relatives,
Mm-hmm.
and his cousin was getting married to someone from Ramallah, so from the West Bank.
Mm-hmm.
They had to leave Hebron like 10 hours early just to make the journey to Ramallah to pick up the bride who they were going to
Mm-hmm.
bring back to Hebron for the wedding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It- you're not even allowed like a nice wedding, like a
Yeah.
nice simple
Yeah.
stress-free wedding if
No.
you're Palestinian.
No. And some people still say you like I have a cousin that lives in the West Bank and has to go through a checkpoint to get say like Jerusalem or something
Hmm.
for work. I think she leaves at 4 in the morning to get to work at like 9 a.m. or something. It's insane.
Yeah, and then it's like you said earlier, you don't even know if you're gonna make it through that checkpoint, if it's gonna be open that
Yeah.
day, who's running that checkpoint,
Yeah. And
what
there's
kind of day
no
have they had.
yeah. There's no rules. It's like, oh, I don't feel like opening this today. Go back home. You know? It depends on that person's mood.
Yeah, and that's really what it comes down to is that Palestinians shouldn't be at the mercy of anyone else.
Hmm.
No one should be at the mercy of anyone else just because of their race or their ethnicity.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
It's insane. I remember when I was younger, I like my family would like put me in the front seat
Ooh.
because like I didn't cover my hair and I was like blonde and like whatever and my I'd had like we'd put like my aunt in the back that had like her hijab on
Mm.
to try and like not trigger like the Israelis at the checkpoint. So like maybe they would just like see me and be like they would normally speak Hebrew to me because they assume I'm like
Jewish,
yeah and like
Caucasian.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let's try it. Like, let's not deal with like getting pulled over and like them checking the car, and then we have to go out into the scanners, and they, it's like you don't
It's
always want
brutal.
that. It's
No, nobody wants that.
nobody wants
And you
that.
were a kid.
I was a kid. I was a kid. Yeah, there are so many things. I remember my parents told me one time, like, I think we were on the way to the airport,
Hmm.
and I was too young to remember. I was maybe like 2 or 3, but like Israeli soldiers like shot at the car I was in. They missed, but they shot at the car I was in, and my mom told me she was like, "I've never seen your dad move so fast. He like threw me to the ground of like the car." But it's just like goes to say like it doesn't matter like
And you're an American citizen.
yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
like no one is safe. No non-Jewish citizen or person is safe in occupied Palestine.
Mhm.
Period. Like you're just not, and you
No.
never know because you're essentially at the mercy of these gun-happy teenagers that are working checkpoints.
Mhm.
They are the rule of the land. They are the law of the land, and it's horrific. And that experience that your dad had with you is the daily experience that probably still haunts him. Probably, by the way, I'm assuming as a parent, like I went through a similar experience at a checkpoint, also going to the airport, where we had two toddlers, like a baby and a toddler at the time,
Mhm.
and we only had one car seat. The driver was like freaking out. He's like, we like they will make this a big deal
If you have two.
because I had two kids and only one car seat in
Okay.
that
Yeah.
car, and we were just trying to get to the airport.
Right.
And he's like, he told my husband to get down and walk with the baby. He's like, just cross the street and we'll come and pick you up from that gas station.
Mhm.
So, and it's hot, it's a summer, and in Palestine. So my husband gets out, crosses before we get to the checkpoint.
Yeah.
And I stay in the car with my toddler who's buckled in the car seat. As we're at the checkpoint, I see an Israeli settler start yelling at my husband, not a soldier, but a settler,
Mhm.
comes, starts yelling at my husband, and he's like pointing and yelling in Hebrew. My husband doesn't understand what he's saying. He goes and gets an IOF
Mm-hmm.
person. I don't even want to call them soldiers,
Yeah.
who comes over and, you know, and I'm sure this is like the biggest inside joke for Palestinians, commands my husband to throw his passport to him because they're afraid to approach Palestinians. Have you heard of this?
No.
So a lot of times, like, they don't like to walk towards Palestinians because they're afraid of Palestinians. So they'll have them toss their passports. They were like 10 feet away.
An IOF or like
Yeah,
the IOF
the
will
IOF had
like
my
throw me your
husband
passport.
throw his passport to him.
Interesting. No,
Yeah,
because usually when you pull up to the checkpoint, there's like gun in your face.
exactly.
Like
Literally, the gun is in there before you even finish rolling the window down.
yeah, it's right there when you
It,
pull up. Like
they don't care who's in the car.
no.
You know, adults, children, they don't care. And so my husband, I think because he had a baby too, he's like, it's a baby, like trying to show him, like, it's a baby. I'm just going to go get some water at the store. Finally, when he sees a passport, comes, talks to my husband. He's like, hey, you're not allowed to walk on this street. Like, because you're Arab. He's like, you're not allowed to walk on this side of the street, which is also insane behavior in 2026.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, this was back in 2017.
Yeah.
And long story short, we made it through the checkpoint, went around and picked him up. But I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is the reality of every Palestinian parent every single day. Like, you don't even know if you're going to make it through this checkpoint.
Mm-hmm.
No one should have to live this way.
No one.
It's insane. But I want to go back. Sorry, see, we got off already on one tangent. Don't even get me started. But I want to go back to, I'm like looking at the Ya Albi bag. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I want to talk about, you know, your background in design and how you created this world of Ya Albi, because it's stunning and it really stands out in comparison to everything else in its category.
Thank you. I mean, I guess, well, my background is in fashion, so I think the reason it looks the way it does is because I think very like product first. I think about how I want something to feel, how it makes you feel, what it means, what it says about you if you own it. I think about all these things first, and I think when I was starting at Edby, like it wasn't like, oh, what do I want this olive oil brand to look like? I was like, what do I want to have in my kitchen? Like, what would make me happy to look at?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I saw the olive oil shelves, everything is like a million shades of like not a very cute green. I was like, it doesn't always have to be green, like whatever. I can do what I want. Like food can be fun. Like food packaging can be fun. And so when I started building it, I just did colors that I naturally gravitate towards. And, you know, I was building this at a time of like a lot of sadness, but I didn't want that to show through what I was doing because, yes, there's a lot of grief when it comes to being Palestinian and to Palestine, but there's also so many other things like we are all people that like have love and like fun and like joy in our lives. And so I wanted to highlight that and like it can, you know, hold many truths at once. And I wanted to show like I was going through a hard time. So I wanted to show like I wanted to have something that would make me feel happy. So when I was designing it, I would say like when I design things, like it's 75 or like 80% what I want, like what I want to see, and the rest I want other people to relate to as well. It's not too crazy. I was like, I want some sort of familiarity when I make things too. Um, so that's just like kind of how I started building the brand and like designing everything. And obviously, like, there's so many references from like me growing up in like the early 2000s and like all of that. But also, I pulled references from like Arab. Arabic nostalgia and like old records and like all the beautiful colors and you know, because we have that too. And like I like there's such beautiful Arab packaging, and I
Hmm.
wanted to like kind of blend it in a way that felt like current also.
Yeah,
So,
that definitely shows because there's such a beauty to our, our culture as well, and our packaging and everything has somehow become very like monochromatic
mm-hmm.
in a lot of ways and
Yeah,
very like oversimplified.
yeah,
And I love that you've somehow preserved the character of Arabic and
yeah.
Arabic, like art. Like it
Yeah.
definitely shows in everything that you've made.
Thank you. I'm like, we could have both, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and
We,
it still comes off like clean and modern
mm-hmm.
also, which
Yeah,
is which is really like, I mean, kudos to you. That's amazing.
thank you.
I still remember your what I don't want to say table. I remember your display at the Between East event last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was so cool.
Thank you.
That was just like I have no other word for it besides cool. And I remember going and you guys were selling out of so much so quickly. And I think that's when it clicked for me where I was like, "Oh, this is more than olive oil. This is just like a really cool like lifestyle brand that I kind of want to be a part of in some
Oh,
way." Um, and because I ran into a friend also at the event, Maria Khalid, the founder of Ya
oh
Albi,
yes,
and
love
she's
her.
like, "Let me show
Love
you
her.
what I got." And she's like pulling everything out, and I'm like, "Wait, I want all of this. It's so cool." What, how did you think to expand to other items and to sort of build a whole world out of Ya Albi?
I think it's just very instinctive for me. Um, I mean, like, I never thought I would have an olive oil brand. Like,
Mhm.
my thing is like making products. I love making things that just like make me feel good and like are exciting, you know?
Yeah.
And I've built like collections for like 10 years and like so it's just like, it might be something that I don't know, I think of it like 3 in the morning and I'm just like this fits into the world of it. I'd be like, why not, you know? And like to have something real that you can like hold
Mhm.
is like so satisfying to make. Like I can't explain it. It's like my favorite thing. Like having an idea and just like making it come to life. It's just
And you're making things that you like. And that's
yeah.
so important. You're not trying to impress anyone else because it's like you have such a good it seems like you have such a good idea of what you like and who you are so that when you make something and you know it's good to you, people just naturally migrate towards it. They want it.
I'm very specific, I will say. I'm like very specific. I know when something like feels right.
Mhm.
And like there's so many things that I want to make, but if it doesn't feel it has to feel right or I won't do it. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll like really take my time. Like sometimes things happen in like 5 minutes. And like sometimes things will take me, I'll start over like 100 times until this is the one. Like, for example, I want to import like dates
Mhm.
next, and so I'm working on some packaging. I think I'm on like my fifth or sixth version of it.
Mhm.
And like every version, I've like scrapped the last, and I'm like, nope, that's not it. We're doing this again. But I think I finally have it this time, so I'm really excited. Um, but
Where are
yeah,
you going to import the dates from?
they're gonna come from Jericho, Riha.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's really cool. And I
yeah.
love that you're branching out, from just doing the olive oil too.
Yeah.
That's, I
Yeah,
mean, that's
because
a great idea.
we do have so much more than that. And I remember being a kid and like going to Riha and I was like, this is the most beautiful place. Like I like love it here. I can still remember like the date trees and like the fruits and it was so beautiful and like yes, like olive oil is like our main thing, but
Hmm.
also dates are really amazing there and they're very specific.
Yeah.
They're, like, chewy and, like, sweet and, like, so like, it's just our other big thing, so naturally, I think it's my next move, but I can't wait to, like, branch out and do more and more fun products, but also maybe snacks and I
Yes.
don't know,
All of it.
there's so many
Yeah.
things.
There's so many things. And where did the name Ya Albi come from?
Well, when I was first starting it, I was at home with my parents for a few months. This was like early October, November, where I needed to be home with my
Yeah.
family. Um, and I was like thinking of names, and my grandpa was over, and he's like, of course, like an Arab Sita where everything is like Ya Albi, Ya Rohi, like everything, you know. He's like, "What about Ya Albi?" And I was like, "Actually, yeah,
Your
that's
grandfather
perfect."
thought of the name?
Yes.
That's the cutest story. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you already have a seal of approval.
Yeah, I was like, "Actually, that's perfect." Ya Albi, also my initials, YA. Like, I don't know.
It just
It's like,
serendipitous.
it was just cute. It was like
Yeah.
perfect. It's like not too much for other people to say it. Like, yes, they'll be like, "Yeah, Albie," like,
Yeah.
sure, whatever. But like, there's so many other words that are much more difficult that I was like, okay, I think this is like a nice, like, middle ground
Yeah.
balance. Like, it looks cute.
No, it's such a clever idea, and it just opens up so many possibilities for you as you grow also. Like you're not just um it's not even something that you are going to be stuck just in like kitchen goods or just like food goods either. It's
Yeah,
like you're able to do so much with that.
yeah,
And it's a positive message.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
loving, and that's essentially where this is all born out of. It's your love for your homeland
Mm-hmm.
and for preserving it. And I want to say reclaiming it, and
Yeah.
that word gets thrown around a lot. What does it mean to you to reclaim Palestinian goods such as dates and olive oil and the terminology and the design, all of it?
I think like reclaiming means not letting other people decide how we're seen. Um, I think Palestinians don't always have to be seen as like sad or like traditional or like always having to be made palatable for others. We're so many things.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Elbi is Palestinian, but it's also me. And I think that's the point.
Yeah, it is you. And just like looking at you, I mean, you have impeccable taste. You give off like quintessential cool girl vibes. So seeing like everything that you've created with Ya Albi and then seeing how it really is like I can't even stop. It's so pretty. Like just the logo, the packaging. It really is a reflection of so many parts of you. Like as
Yeah.
I've sat here and talked to you, I can totally connect the dots now. And I love that I like that you trust your intuition so much that you were able to create something that does represent you
Yeah.
in such a concise way. That's
Thank
so
you.
hard. And it comes off very unauthentic when people don't know who they are enough to really go for it and do that.
Yeah, you really just have to like trust yourself. I think like everyone has it in them, and
Yeah.
you really just have to be so certain and like know that you have like the answers to everything you want to do essentially, you know?
Yeah. No, that's perfect. Like, I love everything you just said. And to your point, something that we've talked about before on the show is that, narrative ownership, and that can be, launching products that are relevant to us, that are our own. And it can be the way that we tell our stories, right? Through
Mhm.
a myriad of ways. And when we reclaim our narrative, we're not existing in someone else's story, it's our story.
Mhm.
And I think that's really the essence of what Ya Albi represents as well.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
agree.
Um, I want to get into something really cool that I saw in my feed not too long ago. You collaborated with Huda Beauty
Mhm.
for like those limited edition Ya Albi bottles for one of their influencer events. I think it was in Dallas because I'm from Dallas actually, and I have a lot of friends that
Oh,
were at that
really?
event, and I
Oh,
was so
cool.
jealous. I was like, that is so cool. I've never had FOMO for an influencer event
Oh.
until that day. So tell us about that.
Yeah, that was really special. They reached out to me, and it was one of those moments where it's like, oh my God, like I think I'm doing something right. Like
Yeah.
someone else that is so amazing and like who has been so vocal about Palestine.
Hmm.
And so for her team to reach out and be like, do you guys want to make something? And it was Ramadan, so it makes it all the more
Yeah.
special. Um, I felt really like grateful and really proud just that it could be in rooms like that. So we took the tin design and like kind of just like redid it a bit to like
Hmm.
match their vibe as well, and got to gift it out. And yeah, it was really special, and I'm
Yeah.
so grateful. It was like one of our first, I think our first collaboration with someone, a brand that is so amazing. So
Yeah. First of many to come, I'm sure.
I hope
But
so.
that is really cool because Huda is like to me, I think is really the blueprint
Mhm.
for Arab women, for all women.
Yeah.
But in the way that she, as you said, she's built this empire, like just as a businesswoman, but has been very vocal about her values and
Mhm.
about her stance on Palestine, unapologetically so. And it's such a good lesson for everyone else.
Yeah. Like you can do both. And I
Yeah.
think that makes you more powerful. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to be afraid to say what you think and how you feel. And I think that makes you so much more cool.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
So
Yeah. No, congrats on that. That's really cool.
thank you.
Um, and you, I mean, that's a win. And as I said earlier, I think before we started taping or while we were taping, I ran into your product in Huntington Beach, California. I've seen it in Marina Del Rey at a coffee shop here. And it's always like this fun moment for me as I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, yeah, we have Palestine on the shelves here, like all over California, and I'm pretty sure you're in other states as well.
Mhm.
You're all
Yeah,
over.
all over the country.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, all over the US. There's like a couple internationally. There's a couple in Canada. Um, but yeah, all of our stockists are, we list them online on our
Mm-hmm.
website. But honestly, can't wait to continue to grow all over the world and to other countries and continents. So hopefully soon.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
And I am so confident that you will like conquer everywhere.
yeah.
But I do want to mention that you did run into a kerfuffle not too long ago here in LA. I mean, not to call anyone out by name, but like Laurel Hardware,
Laurel
Laurel
Supply,
Supply,
same
sorry, not
owners.
Laurel. Oh,
It's
is it the
okay.
same owner?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, they refuse to stock the shelves with Ya Albi. Is that what it is?
Well, the buyer from Laurel Supply bought olive oil from us.
Okay.
They even asked for the first order to be free, which I don't normally do, but I was like, okay, like this could be like great exposure.
Yeah.
Sure, I wanted to support also, so I was okay, sure. So I drop off oil, and the buyer was like, okay, it'll be out on the shelves in like a couple days. Like we have to move some things around. I was like, okay, great, really excited. Um, you know. And then I get an email a couple days later, and it basically says that the one of the owners pulled it off the shelf, um, kind of as soon as they saw it.
Wow.
So I think that just kind of like said a lot. And like after doing this for a few years, you kind of start to understand when stores say, yes, we'll buy your olive oil, or no, thank you, or like the way that they say no. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I know what that means. Like,
Yeah.
could be wrong, but most of the time I'm.
I mean, your intuition served you pretty well up until now, so yeah.
But I think like just like the owner pulling it off the shelf immediately, um, said everything that like we kind of needed to know. Um, and yeah.
Okay, well, we won't be going there again anytime soon.
No, and like there were some other things that happened like online which kind of like proved the
With
point.
the same store?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So my intuition was not wrong.
Yeah, yeah. But it's good to know where to avoid.
Yeah, it's, I normally wouldn't be dramatic about it, but I think it's really important for us and everyone to know like where we're spending our money, like in a value sense. Like I want to spend my money with people that have the same values as me. Like
Yeah,
we
100%.
get to, they get to decide who they want on their shelves. That's fine. I also get to decide where I spend my money. So
100%. And for those that aren't in LA, sorry, it's not Laurel Hardware, Laurel Supply
supply.
is a specialty market here in Los Angeles. So they do already carry products from typically from all over. Um, they're supposed to be catering like to small businesses. It's really not, it's inauthentic to their mission, first of all. Like it kind
Hmm.
of takes out the the trust I would have in a company like that anyways.
Hmm.
But yeah, people should know where their money is going. They should
Hmm.
be intentional with how they spend their money. And they should, like, if I see Palestine on a shelf, I'm going to buy it. Like, even if it
Hmm.
costs more than everything else on that shelf, I want that one, you
Yeah.
know? And that's what being intentional is. It's maybe, going to this doctor or this dentist, even if it's like 10 miles, but I want to support maybe someone in my
Yeah.
community. It's maybe ordering the thing, even if there's like others on the market that would get to me faster, or I think is less expensive or more accessible. Like, no, I
Hmm.
want to support really specific brands, and money is power. So it really is, you're deciding who you're giving power to when you do spend.
Yeah. And money is also energy, and we want to share that with things that align and like give back and things
Yeah.
that we love. So,
We've already talked about kind of going in the direction of launching dates soon.
hmm,
What else? What does success look like for Ya Albi 5 years from now in your eyes?
I I want it to be like the household Palestinian food brand, but also has cool things. And I think right now one of my main goals is just like spreading it.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many, requests for it to be all over the world, and it's a huge logistical thing for me. But yeah, for me, it's just for people to have access to it all
Mm-hmm.
over, and for people to know it and love it and see it and feel something and be happy to have a little piece of Palestine with them. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What does, last question, we always wrap up with this. What does being well rooted mean to you?
I think being well rooted means knowing where you come from, but not being trapped by it. Um, I think it gives you like a grounded place to be able to grow from.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I think of Ya Albi. It comes from like my family and all these memories, but it's not like stuck in the past.
That's beautiful. Such a beautiful answer.
Thank you.
Where can people find Ya Albi?
Um, in LA, everywhere.
All over in LA or online, or how can people follow along?
If you go to our website,
Mm-hmm.
I made a really cool stockist app.
Oh,
I think it's like yaalbi.com/find us or something, but you
okay.
can see all of our stockists there. If you live in LA, I'm gonna shout out Dada Market and also Yellow Coffee. I love
Ooh,
them both. They've been writing with me since the beginning. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. It was a pleasure. And go buy Ya Albi.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank
So
you.
fun.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Well Rooted. If you enjoyed today's episode and felt it brought you value, please subscribe, leave a comment, give us a like, and a review. This episode of Well Rooted has been brought to you by Gerard Associates CPAs. With locations across all of Los Angeles, Gerard Associates has been helping entrepreneurs and creatives make their dreams come true for over 2 decades. Go to gerardcpa.com to learn more. This is Haneen, and we are all well rooted.